Hey guys, and welcome to the ranking of fictional detectives. Alright, before we start, this is a tier list, not a courtroom, not a PhD thesis. Nobody's getting arrested if your favorite ends up in a B tier, and I know some favorites are gonna be ending up in a B tier, and that's just life. These rankings are based on vibes, questionable logic, and at least 200% personal bias, okay? I do not make the rules. So if you feel your blood pressure rising, maybe take a step back, take a deep breath, drink some water, or maybe vodka. I'm not here to judge. And remember, these characters, they're not real. They're not real. But your anger is, your blood pressure is, your diabetes is, okay? So, with that being said, let's confidently make some absolutely debatable decisions. I'm gonna be ranking these mother fathers, okay, these fictional detectives into these tier lists. Hence, as it's called a tier list video. The first one is like detective gods. These are the ones I pray for. These are the ones, if I were to be hired a detective tomorrow morning, I would spend the entire night praying for them because they would make or break my career. Okay? These are the gods that are like Aphrodite. If they bless me with a baby, they're gonna be half human, half god, and I'm gonna be famous or whatever is going on in the Son of Achilles book. So, these are the ones that are no joke. These are mythological creatures. We don't even it's like a myth. It's Greek culture. Moving on, we have absolutely fabulous darling. These are the ones for the books. These are the icons, the dramas. They were born a star and they will remain a star. These are the ones I would worship after I'm done worshiping the detective gods. The detective gods might look down on me. They might be like, you with your 20 IQ. Okay? They're making everyone a detective these days. They might judge the out of me. The absolutely fabulous darlings. I don't think they would. I don't think they would judge. I don't know. They're my idols. I idolize the ish out of them. And then we have B tier. That's the job, I guess. They're just doing the job. They're doing the damn thing. And you know what? Someone has to do the job. So maybe we should be thankful. But yeah, they're just doing the job. I hope they're getting paid for this. Yeah, so we have tier C tier needs a new job. These are the detectives that are pissing me off. And I know I just said you should not be angry because this is just fictional, but I will be getting upset. This is the video that's gonna be making me upset. So maybe skip maybe skip watching. And then we have why are you even here? Why are you even here? Who invited you? Who who gave you the address? Can you just leave? Freak. These are the detectives, and I do not mean that, I do not say that lightly, but these are the detectives that I would probably frame for a theft or something. I can't be bothered being so creative to frame them with a murder or anything. I'm just gonna frame them with something so petty, so stupid, just to get rid of them. Like I don't want them serving life in prison. I just want them out of the way. I these are the detectives just get on my nerves. Okay. And we're gonna have a couple of those today. So buckle up and let's get started. Starting this one strong, we have Patrick Jane. Listen, this is the detective who likes to raise up his targets. He annoys the shit out of them, then gets them to slip up and overshare. Sometimes he might even give them the special and manipulate a confession out of them. Pros, he's fun to watch, and usually he wreaks havoc over the CBI while investigating his cases. Cons, his methods rely mostly on human interactions, and even when he doesn't, this is a man that be doing too much. He's like an overactive child. He might lose the suspect, destroy the evidence, end up arrested, or even set the crime scene on fire. The sky is the limit to how far Jane might take it. Another con is that he doesn't have that much forensic knowledge. And if you're like me, you probably love your detectives a bit, quirky, dropping obscure facts on random topics every once in a while. A know it all, basically. However, if I'm being honest, this is a great detective and a great character. The only problem is that if I were with John, I'd want him to become as great as I am so we can ride off into the sunset together, Bonnie and Clyde fashion. I would be obsessed with this man. I would be in love with him. The only reason I would kill his wife is because I'd be jealous. I'd be like, mine, all mine. Yeah, he's an icon though. He's an icon, and he goes to the absolute legend. He's an absolute legend. He was born to be a star, and he shall remain one. Sherlock. This is the goat. This is the icon, the legend. I haven't watched the new Sherlock show, the young Sherlock, but he wasn't gay. Now, this is a detective that knows too much. He doesn't need a forensic team, he needs no suspect, just him and his big brain in this beat. This is a detective that I respect. I want to commit a perfect crime and have him investigate it. Better yet, have me and he'll investigate it. And I will come back as a ghost and distract him. I will haunt him. I will do everything I can from the other side to make sure he doesn't catch the killer. I would absolutely torment him, insomnia style, and drive him nuts. I'd drive him crazy so that my case would be the last one, so that my case would be the one that got away. And I will spend the rest of his life haunting him just because. Just because he's a god. He's a legend. He's the goat, and he goes with the detective gods because, as I said, we worship these mother fathers. Okay. Next, we have this one's gonna be interesting. We have Alexander Mahone. This is not the goat, okay? This is no Sherlock Holmes. This is no Poirot. But this man is like a manhunter, fugitive slayer, demon slayer, vampire slayer. He's proof that evolution might change a lot about human race, but not the fact that deep inside we're nothing more than a bunch of stalkers. But while you're stalking your favorite celebs for free to prove that they're shagging up each other, Mahone is over here making banks and cleaning up our streets doing it. Honestly, I don't know why people hate him. I don't know how can you hate him? Like this is a traumatized man. And while I get having a love-hate relationship with a character, I personally all I have for him is love. I want to baby him, okay? I want to mother him. I want to hold him and brush his crazy away. I want to tell him, shh, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, baby Mahone. It's gonna, like, put your head between my boobs or something. That's how much risk Mahone got for me, okay? So yeah, I'm just probably gonna put him with icons. No, you know what? That's gonna be hypocritical. I'm gonna put him in does the job for you. For you he must do the job. But for me he's not. He's like he's exceeding the expectations. You know what? I'm gonna put him in absolutely brilliant, absolutely an icon, and I do not care what you have to say for it. He's not that smart, I know, but to me, he does something. You know what? I'm just gonna put him in does the job. Oof. All right. Now, next one is interesting. We have Colombo. See, this man meditates or something because there's no way in hell he's that intuitive just because. This is the detective that knows who the killer is from the first moment and plays dumb until he builds a case against them. He does it all. He follows the methodological approach, he manipulates, he plays stupid, and then he comes back with one more thing, and boom, he rattles and terrifies the killer with the realization that they've been played by a guy that looks like this. His gotcha moments are so freaking satisfying. He's smart, he's vigilant, and plays the long game. He's Patrick Jane if Patrick was taking his Xanax and weren't an overactive child and actually followed Lisbon's instructions. Personally, this is the type of detective I'd hire to catch whoever killed my mom because he's reliable, and by the end, I'd want to move on. Also, I wouldn't mind being adopted by him, so call me daddy, I guess. So he goes to does the job. He's absolutely brilliant, but let's keep him at does the job, okay? I put my baby Mahon up there. Um, Colombo can survive. Monsieur Poirot, listen, listen. I don't want to be that person, but Monsieur Poirot is it for me. Yes, Sherlock is the goat or whatever, but Monsieur Poirot does CUNT like no detective I've ever seen. And by Poirot, I mean this version. Everything about him is perfect. The mustache, the stick, the walk, the way his Belgian ass peels the boiled eggs for breakfast, using tools that look like they came out of the Guantanamo Center. Honestly, this is a detective I'd be obsessed with. I'd probably break into his office, one too many, or maybe stalk Hastings until he agrees to introduce me to the Monsieur Poirot, and I'd become his pupil, his dedicated student. I'd sleep in that office and follow his carriage on foot. Honestly, I'd boil his eggs up to perfection. I'd become his lapdog. I'd bark at whoever he doesn't want in his office, and I'd learn to sniff the bodies, and he'd use me as a cadaver dog, and I would tell him, thank you. As you can tell, I have nothing but great love and admiration for this man. This this man, his flamboyant, quirky ass, is worshipped in this household. Therefore, his place is up there with the gods. He's an icon, as icons can be. Period. Moving on. Also, the way he gathers his suspects just to flex on them is legendary. Like, do it one more time. Please. Yes, Papa. Next, we have Miss Marple. See, this one people often overlook because she looks like a grandma, because she is indeed a grandma. But in fact, this woman is dangerous. She's unhinged, honestly. This is the woman that people don't take seriously, and they end up telling her everything. She's the ajumma to be like, you know what, Macy? This fella of yours reminds me of this man back in my village. His name is Christopher, and he's been caught by his wife cheating with a corpse he dug up from the local cemetery. There was a wickedness about him, and his mom was rumored to be his sister, which probably fucked him up. What did you say his name was again? And you'd be like, no, Auntie Jane, Ted Bundy is a great guy. He's just a little obsessed with my hair not getting shorter than my shoulders, and he uses a ruler to measure it every night before sex. And one night, Ted Bundy would get caught, and she wouldn't even say, I told you so. Wanna know why? Wanna know why? It's because she's a classy woman. She's the type to get you to say things that incriminate your entire bloodline. And you'd be like, wait, wait, stay with me. I need to tell you more. I have more on my spouse's family too. I've got enough shit on the entire town for a month's worth of tea gossip parties. I just love this woman, and I think you should too. Give a round of applause to the Miss Marples of this world, always using patriarchy to their own benefit to remain invisible while they put criminals in jail where they belong. Mad respect as always. Like, I'm obsessed, okay? I cannot tell you how crazy I am about this woman. So, she goes into absolute icons is because it's crowded up here in the detective gods. You know, here is my unpopular opinion. I think Miss Marple is a better detective than Monsieur Poirot sometimes. Yeah, I think I think if we have Monsieur Poirot versus Miss Marple, she would definitely beat her ass. Yeah, but Monsieur Poirot is also very dear to me, so I don't know. I don't know. Adrian Monk. Listen, this one is very hard. This one is hard. This is the detective that really be detecting. He notices everything. He's like an all seeing eye of Hadar. Seriously, this man is no joke when it comes to his laser scanning eyes. He detects subtle cues. He's like Palantir AI bombs detecting unarmed children in Gaza. His problem, however, is that he's easily distracted and needs a lot of support. He can't work in a messy, chaotic environment and can't work alone, which is why I'll give him does the job spot. I'm sorry, but like on a pure genius level alone, Monk would be higher. But honestly, he's too much hassle sometimes. Like, sorry, but personally, if I ever commit a crime and Monk is the detective and he starts freaking out on me, I would probably confess. I would make him a soup or tacos or chicken or whatever his nurse was making him in season one, and I would tuck him in bed, tell him a good night, kiss his forehead, probably, possibly, I don't know, before turning myself in. Okay? Because I don't want to see this man suffer. He's been through enough. Seriously. God, please let the man rest. Let him rest. He's been through enough. Jessica Fletcher. This one is also interesting. She looks like what a real smart person in real life might look like. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know what a smart person looks like in real life. You can't tell. But that's what I imagined them to look like. She's grounded, reliable, and extremely observant while maintaining high adaptability in her environment. She's like Miss Marple in some way, but she's more proactive and behaves like a real detective. She's like into it. She's also very stable, rarely misses, and usually always right from the get go. So Miss Fletcher, you go to do the job. She does the job. Is that she's just like a detective that doing their job. Like, where's the show? Where is the drama? Where's the flair? Where is the gathering your suspects and telling them all dramatically that you solved it with your gray cells? I don't know, but she's just a detective I would love to have as a neighbor. It would be cool to gossip with her about the crimes she solved, but I wouldn't develop an obsession with her. I wouldn't commit a murder and try to frame her while making her lose her mind over the impossible case, if you know what I mean. She doesn't invoke that level of dedication from me, honestly. But she's reliable and she's quite charming and it's very entertaining. So I'm just gonna put her here. Eve Pilastri. This one is for the books. I know. She's not a really detective, but I have her here for some reasons. I don't know what are. Okay, it sounded better in my head. This one is easy. She's not that bright, and that's okay because I'm not that bright either. Yeah, Miss Eve mistrusts people she knows not to trust and shows them all her cards, gets her friends killed, gets herself shot, always ruins plans. Yeah, you go there. You go here, honey. Okay, you go to Why are you even here? Who invited you? Who gave you the key? Like, give them back, please. Yeah. Why are you even here, Eve Pilastri? L from Death Note. This one is very easy. No one can argue that L is one hell of an intellectual. Okay, he's not just guided by strong intuition. He actually listens to it without getting overly attached to it. L treats every case like a science experiment, which is crazy, and every possibility like a theory he needs to test and prove or disprove. And he's never 100% sure. He always keeps his skepticism on without letting it hurt his case, which is fascinating. I don't know how you can do that. He also works on a wide variety of suspects. We're not talking about a few snobby guests at a masquerade Christmas party. Am I snarking on Monsieur Poirot? Yeah, probably, but I love that man. Okay, we're talking entire Japan, and he managed to get Light, who had the gods or the shinigamis or whatever working in his favor. Like, seriously, that's insane. That's crazy. Okay, he works like a hunter. He lays the traps, he sets up the conditions, and forces the truth to come to him instead of chasing it blindly. He's like, I attract, I do not chase. And I love that for him, okay? He's in his feminine energy or whatever. Also, also, he's extremely proactive. The way he operates, always moving things forward, And yes, he's unethical at times, but what's a detective if not unethical? By the time L is done with his prey, they're already wrapped up. Like he's like, wrap it up. See, this is a detective that's amazing, show-stopping, phenomenal. I have nothing to say about this man. Honestly, I would not want him as my ops. I would not want to commit a crime when he's in proximity because there's no way in hell I can gaslight this mother father. So for me, he scares me, he terrifies me, and kind of turns me on. And I would definitely not mess with him. No, this is the God of all gods. He goes up here and he stays up here on his throne, okay? It's Ellsworth, and we're just living in it. Well, freaking Graham. Is he sick in the head? Yes, he is. Is he hot, especially when he's sick in the head? Absolutely. Is he one of the best detectives to have ever existed? Maybe. This man walks into a scene and becomes the killer. You can tell. He can tell you what the killer was thinking when he did what he did and why he did it. And honestly, that's lit. The problem, though, is that he's very unstable and he can easily be blinded by his own judgment, which puts him at a disadvantage. Man really did everything to gaslight himself into believing that Hope's daughter had nothing to do with the murders when all evidence pointed to her. And for that mistake alone, I'm gonna let his score drop. Also, it sometimes feels like if he hadn't been dealing with six serial killers that just want to be noticed and seen and are all artsy and are in their fields, Will might have had a problem because he just can't treat normal people the way he does these flashy psychopaths. So, Will, my guy, I love you. Do not tell Hannibal you rock. You're one of the best. You just need to pick a different therapist and calm down a bit and maybe find a new job. Yeah, find a new job, Will. Move on with your life, do better, love yourself. Okay, so now we have an interesting one. I'm sure most people don't know this one, but Nine Puzzles, it's a key drama, and they have Yoon Ina. She's the main detective. She talks big game. This one was not only disappointing, but extremely triggering. I watched this show a year ago with my roommate, and let me tell you, just thinking about this character again builds a volcano of rage within me. The way I snogged on this girl was diabolical. I was out for blood. And the issue is that I still feel the same. Time doesn't heal all wounds, I guess, because I am as irritated with her as I was a year ago. The problem with this one ranges from poor detective skills, big ego, like I'm talking huge, I'm talking tremendous. And hey, the best detectives have the biggest ego. And I love me, Monsieur Poirot, so you can tell I enjoy a little show off, okay? This one, though, was agonizing to watch. It's not camp enough. Like, you can tell she takes herself way too seriously, and it never feels earned. She also has poor social skills, and I don't mean Sherlock type of geek. I'm talking you want to punch a hole into her face. I'm talking the type of person that always says the most inappropriate things. Not because they don't know better, but because they just suck. So she gets the worst score. I'm sorry. I cannot be unbiased with this one because she triggered the heck out of me. So yeah, no. She goes down here. I'm so sorry. Benoit Blanc, or whatever his name is. See, this man is funny. He's hot. He's gay, and he's theatrical AF. He's everything Sherlock didn't give us and more. And most importantly, he knows how to serve CUNT. Honestly, this is a detective that I'd haunt for the first few months after my death. I would send him signs from beyond the veil, and I would help him and guard him and have him call me a good ghost or whatever, and I would cheer up when he does. I would call him daddy, and it would probably turn me on, but also heal something within me. You know what I'm talking about? I just love this man and can't wait to get more out of him. He slays, and I hope he keeps on slaying. He's very smart, very observant, and I just enjoy watching him toy with the good guys. Like you can tell, he likes to mess with the underdogs of the world. He likes to test their patience, which is great because he's one of the people for the people, and I love that for him. Yeah, he absolutely rocks, and he's also married to Hugh Grant. So weird, weird flex, I guess. But he goes up here. He's absolutely iconic. He's one of the goats. Cordelia Cup from The Residence. Listen, on theory, I should love this one. She's a woman, she's dramatic AF, she has interesting quirks, and her birding knowledge is quite fascinating and is well integrated into the metaphors of the show. She's also not afraid to stand out, even when she's being judged, and that's inspiring. In my opinion, this character could have been perfect. She could have been, and I love how she's just there to do her job, slay, and then leave. She's like, I got my check and now I'm leaving, okay? I have no attachment to this. My issue, though, is while the first episodes were well written and her characters seemed promising, it just goes downhill from there. The plot stops making any sense. The writing quality drops dramatically, and it drags on and on and on. And at some point, the suspects just start telling on themselves. They just start confessing or whatever. They're like, "Forgive me, Father, that I have sinned." I guess they were tired of seeing her run in circles. And some traps she set up, the traps she set up for them to have them confess, are so stupid. Only a 4 years old would fall for these kind of tactics. She's just not that great. And I'm sorry to say that about another female detective that has a small, she's a strong character, and she looks like, I would have had a gay crush on her had the writing been better. Okay, she would have been my sexual awakening, my 1 millionth sexual awakening. But no, she failed because you can't keep telling me you're the best detective without showing the receipts. I need to be humbled watching you. I need you to come to the conclusions that are so outrageous yet so on the nose that I'd start questioning how come I didn't think of that. And Miss Thing, despite being everything I would have wanted from a modern female detective, didn't really do much for me. So A for the theatrics and D for the detective work, I guess. Yeah, I'm sorry, but into you redeem yourself, you're gonna be down here. You're gonna be in the does the job, which pains me, but like maybe this is going to be your awakening, okay? Next we have Batman. This is the ninja of all detectives. If you have Batman on your side, everything will be taken care of. He monopolizes the detective work like Hype is planning to monopolize the entire music industry. This is a man that follows clues. He studies suspects, then goes back to his creepy ass basement, puts his white coat on, and runs lab tests that would make Dexter jealous. Not this one, the other one. This is a man that when he catches the villain, he beats them up. He's no Patrick Jane. He don't need Lisbon to hide behind. He's no Sherlock. He doesn't need to roll with the punches. This detective can actually beat your ass. He can give you a whooping. You're lucky if he just calls the police on you. Because my man is not just the bounty hunter, he's also the executioner. Okay? The only problem, the only problem with this one is that I find him boring. Yeah, he's very boring. And honestly, we all need a Batman to clean up our Gotham. Have you seen the word? We need a Batman so bad. But but I want nothing to do with this one. Unless he's gonna make me a trophy wife and let me live in his mansion and give me his credit cards. Um maybe then I don't know. So yeah, I guess he goes down here. Like he does the job. Someone has to do the job, but at what cost? You know what I'm saying? At what cost? Shinichi Kodo. Shinichi Kodo. I'm sorry if it sounded like I'm imitating an accent. I'm really sorry. I cannot undo that. But I grew up believing this man is a genius. I grew up conflicted between wanting to date him and wanting to be him. I grew up fantasizing about turning 18 and walking into a random ass house with random ass strangers and someone is getting and I would step in Kodo fashion and find out who the killer was, and I'd give them a theatrical ass expose, and the killer would be an extra ass B who's doing too much instead of just hiring a hitman like the rest of us. This man made me who I am, okay? He gets the credit. He made me this weird, this obsessed with murder mysteries. So it is a shame I will be putting him down here. I don't think Shinichi, or whatever his name is that bright anymore. His father is smarter than him. Kaito Kid, aka the best character in the show, is 100 times smarter and more likable. So to me, this man fell out of grace so bad. I just don't like him anymore. I moved on, I guess. Also, the way he treats his girlfriend is shite. And I realize we're talking intelligence wise. You're like, why are you fixated on his personal relationships? Okay, you're probably thinking that. Well, good for you because I have no answer. I just want to say this man is kind of dumb. Yes, he's 1000% smarter than me or than I'll ever be, okay? But still, he's not that great. And he's like annoying. He's annoying as hell. So maybe he does the job. He does it. Thanks for your service, I guess. Try to be less obnoxious, I guess. But yeah, he had 20 years to redeem himself, and he's still the same. The writer had 20 years to redeem the writing, the show. So maybe I'm kind of salty about that, but he fails to give me anything to work with. So it's kind of frustrating, but it is what it is. Moving on, we have Miss Vera. This one I enjoy watching. She's funny, she's clever, she's charismatic. She's honestly just doing her job. She isn't a genius, but she is dependable. Like, I'm starting to realize, hold on, I'm starting to realize this is a male dominated field. And I don't like that. I don't like that one bit, but it is what it is. And but that's gonna be it for today's video. This ranking is probably just gonna be part one. I think I'm gonna be doing more rankings. Maybe I might re-rank these alphas in on other criterias like I don't know, actual actual skills and not just my vibes. But thank you for watching and let me know how you would have ranked them differently. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye.